Good day. My name is Jerry Ashley Dixon, and this is the Standpoint analysis of Beyond Standing Rock, a video that first aired April 12, 2025. Beyond Standing Rock is a documentary that explores ongoing struggles of Native Americans asserting their sovereignty as a nation. It explores three different conflicts over land and resources. The artifact's relevance is its connection to modern-day issues of tribal sovereignty, controlling natural resources, and the adherence to historical treaties. The target audience includes those interested in Native American rights, environmental issues, and public policy. This video is an excellent choice to study the aspect of standpoint theory. Standpoint theory is a Marxist thought emerging from feminist theory, which I will discuss later in more depth. In standpoint theory, it is believed that knowledge is shaped by what position you hold in society, what experiences you have in life, and it argues that marginalized people have a better understanding of society because their position makes them more aware of the facets of social power. In the standpoint theory of Sandra Harding and Julia T. Wood on page 448, it is stated that what people know about themselves, others, and society depends on what group they are in. This was beautifully exemplified within the video. The film highlights three Native American Indian tribes in their attempt to exert their tribal sovereignty against the government of the United States of America. They want to have control over their land and their resources. David Archambault II, a Native American featured in the video, states at minute 8:19 through 8:39, "We're a sovereign nation and we're putting our foot down, and you can't do this to us anymore. In the past, federal government steamrolled through us and did everything they wanted to do without giving us an opportunity to have any consent over consultation. Now today, we're saying don't steamroll through us anymore. We're a sovereign nation. Recognize that." For more than a century, the Native Americans have been fighting the U.S. government to have treaties honored and their sovereignty recognized. We should all remember from history that this land that the United States inhabits was first inhabited by many different tribes of people. Over the years, through treaties, coerciveness, and brute force, land was taken from their possession and brought under U.S. control. Through time, many Native Americans have come to live on reservations. These reservations serve as sovereign nations, but do they? Are they truly sovereign nations set apart from the USA? There's some acculturation that has occurred within the tribes over the years. They have assimilated into European American culture to a degree. Most speak English, although on one reservation in the video, it did exhibit a native school teaching the children their native language. Another concept heavily featured in Beyond Standing Rock is hegemony. This theory was developed by Antonio Gramsci, and it applies that leadership or dominance occurs especially by one country or social group over others through coercive, cultural, and ideological practices. That is on display time and time again, where the tribe councils say they are ignored, dismissed, not heard, or in some cases, not even given much of a voice at all. In the video, it was stated by the state of North Dakota that the Standing Rock Sioux tribe never contacted them with their concerns over a pipeline going in too close to their reservation and underneath a river that they utilize. The Army Corps of Engineers say that they consulted the tribe, but they did not really seem to care about the tribal concerns. They sort of checked the box off that the tribe had been consulted. You have this dilemma of the dominant group, in this case the United States, and it appearing as though they are maintaining their dominance over the less dominant group, the Sioux. There is a false sense of respect given by calling them a sovereign nation, yet time and time again, their desires for their land are ignored and railroaded over. At minute 1141 through 1151, David Archambault II states, "We could look at this pipeline and say that it puts our water at risk. We could also take a look at what puts it at risk. It puts at risk sacred sites at risk." The U.S. recognizes the Sioux as a sovereign nation, and the U.S. recognizes that the impacts on historic sites are against the law, yet they move forward. This really showcases critical theory, which is the Marxist thought seeking to change society by analyzing the role of culture, media, and communication in maintaining social inequalities. The sad reality is both sides here feel they are doing what is best, and I think they truly believe that. Harding wrote in the Standpoint Theory of Sandra Harding and Julia T. Wood on page 452 that each person can achieve only a partial view of reality from the perspective of his or her own position in the social hierarchy. As I mentioned before, I want to look at feminist standpoint theory more in depth. From Del Greco 2021, Explain Standpoint and Intersectionality, it is stated on page 258 that people with marginalized identities are dual citizens of both dominant and marginalized spaces. Their simultaneous interaction with the dominant sphere, constituted as survival, and the marginal sphere, as the place in which they reside, offers rich insight into the happenings of the social world that are otherwise missed when dominant forms of knowledge are privileged. Hess-Biber 2012. This was incredibly relevant when Regina White Skunk of the Ute Mountain Ute Tribe states, at 1 hour and 1 minute and 9 seconds through 1 hour, 1 minute, 30 seconds, our books and our information and everything we yet to learn is written on the canyon walls. When it gets vandalized, it's like ripping a page out of our history books. I can't go to Washington, D.C. and say, I'm going to pull a volume of this century and I'm going to find all these solutions or experiences, because it's out on the land. This standpoint, this perspective really hit home. The land is more than just who gets it. It is their heritage, their family. It is a part of them. The documentary ends with some encouragement on both sides that the tribes are finally getting some attention to their concerns nationally. Perhaps soon they will feel they have been heard and recognized.